people, what's up? How you all doing? Welcome back to another exciting video. Okay, today we're going to check out this video from Right Track, Wrong Train. Guest gets exposed badly. Okay, I think I have one video from this channel, and it's actually the way it goes down is usually very interesting. Okay, before we dive into it, I'm okay. Welcome to the channel. First time here, hi. Do well to like, share, subscribe, turn on post notification bell. Make sure you like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe, share with your friends, drop in the comment section what you think about the video, turn on post notification bell. Let's quickly check this out together.
Have you been discriminated against?
Yes.
By whom?
By white people.
What did they do to you? Tell me what happened to you.
They told me that I needed to wear my hair a certain way in order to be groomed.
Who told you that?
All right, a supervisor.
At your job?
Yeah, at a previous job.
At a what?
A previous job. I don't work there anymore.
So you were working at this company, and you went in, you applied for the job, and you, at the time that you were applying for the job, you told them, if you pay me X amount of dollars, I would come every day, and I will follow your rules, and you took the job, right? Is that right?
Yes.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
They can't hear you.
Yes.
They can't hear you, Michelle. Come on. So when you agreed to do that job and follow their standards, their rules, you didn't mean it?
Yes, I did, but culture is, everybody has different culture.
So you meant to follow their rules. Did you know about the hair deal before taking the job?
No, they said, right, they groomed means groomed, means you got up and you did your hair, you did your face, you're aware of your whole appearance, right?
Right. And so you went in there with what, an afro or something?
Something similar.
What you did? What you go in there with?
With a ponytail with the afro and a little bang in the front.
And they said, nice. No, you can't wear that hairstyle.
They said it's just not it doesn't look professional, right. And they just made a recommendation, but they didn't say, oh, our rules prohibit you, but they said, oh, look, I just want to make a nice recommendation.
Right. And did they have a right to make that recommendation?
No, they didn't have a right.
Did they own the company?
No, they did not own the company.
Who owned the company?
The owner nobody owned the company.
Somebody have to own the company?
Nobody, it wasn't a company.
These people can't communicate. These are the wrong folks up here.
Oh, wow.
I'm not getting real answers or anything.
I think you guys are very clear. Excuse me, sir.
You guys are not even communicating. I thought this was going to be like that.
Can you not offend my intelligence while I'm sitting right in front of you? You asked me for clear answers. I gave you clear answers.
I thought this was
choose to have a discussion. But you guys are not even discussing.
I'm trying to get some understanding to what is wrong and what we can do about the problem, but you guys won't really.
Okay, I can tell you, you're focusing on problem, but you're not focusing on the solution, right?
And we'll get to that.
And you want to know what the solution would be?
No, we need to find out what is the problem. Have you been discriminated against? Who discriminated against you, and why?
I've been discriminated against. I've been told
it was the policy that allowed the recommendation to even come in. So it's policies that are created that people have to go by that perpetrate discrimination.
Was this with a private business that you were working for?
No, it was not
Was it a government business?
Yes, it was.
And so the government rules are you can wear your hair any kind of way you want to?
As long as it's decent.
And so did your supervisor approach you about your hair once you got this job?
Be more specific in your question.
You said you got this job, and did you quit the job or you got fired?
I quit.
You quit. And you quit because of they recommend a different hairstyle.
No, that's not the reason why I quit.
Why did you quit?
Because I felt that I wanted more fulfilling work.
So where's the racism in that then? You quit because you were not fulfilled. You said that was an example of you being discriminated against.
Right, but that's just something that black people on a daily basis we have to work through.
So
I had to work through that, right?
So
I had to conform to that.
So was it racism or you wanted to be fulfilled?
Mr. Peterson?
Wait a minute,
it was an instance on the job. It wasn't the final conclusion on the job.
So you quit because you wanted to be fulfilled, not because of discrimination about your hair.
Right.
But you just said that was
a problem.
But it had nothing to do with racism. You was not fulfilled. Why did you try to make that into racism?
But it's discrimination that we face, that all black people face on a daily basis,
But
that
you-
we have to work through, because it's like, okay, hey, am I going to tell them,
But
fuck
you're
you, I'm
making-
going to wear my hair the way I want to, or am I going to work this out to the
Michelle,
next week
you're
and make sure
making
that I
this
can
up
get a
because
check?
you have not given me an example of you being discriminated against. I asked for an
think
Not
example.
valid enough for
Both
you.
of you are
Into a
running
corner.
around crying racism.
I'm not
and
crying
yet you
racism.
haven't given me an
Can you stop
example.
doing
Hold
that?
on.
I didn't
hold
say
on.
racism,
I'm
I
just
said
asking you to stop
discrimination.
You
such
haven't given me an
strong
example you've been
statements.
discriminated against.
Okay.
Have you been discriminated against?
Yes, I have been discriminated
And who
against.
discriminated against
An
you?
employer discriminated against me. They asked me to cut my hair.
Was it a white man or a white
This was
person?
a
or people?
Caucasian female.
Okay, and so, private job?
No,
Private-
this is a public sector job.
Okay, so you filled out the application,
I filled out the application.
and you said on the app that I will follow the rules if
that
you
I
pay
would
me
follow
X
the
amount of
rules.
dollars.
Yes.
And did you have the afro at the time?
Yes, I had my afro at the time.
And they still hired you.
And they hired me.
And so you went in and they said what to you? This
That-
is a white female boss, right?
Yes. After
And this is
after
a government
doing a
job.
great job.
And so you go into the office, she called you in,
Yes.
and she says what to you about your
She
hair?
told me that I had to cut my hair, that my hair had gotten too long and looked unmanaged.
Oh, okay. And what's wrong with that?
A lot is wrong with that.
Why? Why don't you want to look? I wouldn't hire you with the hair looking like that.
I wish we actually saw like to the end of this conversation, because I know that a lot of times black people say things like black people say things like, oh, we've been discriminated against, you know, we experience racism at work, at different times, at public sector, private sector, we're being discriminated against. And usually when they ask specific questions like when have you been discriminated against, sometimes people don't have valid responses, to be honest. While on other times people actually do have valid reasons. Now let's go to the reasons these two people gave. The first lady, I don't think her own situation is discrimination. From what she actually described it, she got a job, they gave her the job, and there was like I think they had like a kind of style they should actually have, or I think she said your hair should just be decent. She got a job, and you know she was working, and then they told her, oh, that her hairstyle, they had an issue with the hairstyle, that it wasn't, you know, befitting or okay for the job, so they gave her a recommendation, and they told her, oh, she should do this kind of style of hair, you know. Could that be described as discrimination? If you're being asked, would that fall under discrimination? Would that fall under racism? And so the guy asked her, and Mr. Peterson asked her, okay, did you leave the job because of that? She said no, but she said she left the job because she wasn't fulfilled. So I'm guessing she got a better offer, and that was the reason why she left. So she didn't leave because they gave her a recommendation. Let me put it to you guys. Do you guys think that was them being discriminative? Would you describe that as racism? The second story too, from the guy of, okay, he got the job and then he had a big afro. Would that also fall under racism and discrimination? And also I would love to ask, you know, if you're a black person, have you ever experienced discrimination at your place of work, and how are you able to manage it? Is there anything actually as discrimination and racism in 2024 in America? Because I know a lot of people say, oh, you have to do your job. If you actually do work as hard as a normal American, you will get what you deserve. Do you understand? So that don't bank. I know people say things like, oh, don't bank on, oh, you're going to get discriminated against. If you work so hard, you get to this point, you're not going to get the job because of your person of color and all those kind of stuff. Does it still happen in 2024? And these two stories, will you actually term them as racism or discrimination? Please, I love your opinions and suggestions, ideas, additions about this conversation, because I feel like this conversation is actually very important, because a lot of people battle with this almost every day, and the question is usually like, oh, there's nothing like discrimination and there's nothing like racism. I think the problem more is on you. Okay, so yeah, do well to like this video if you enjoyed it. Kindly share with your friends, turn on your post notification bell, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.